uh, and I work in a company called Selco Solar Light Private Limited. We're based out of Bangalore. We are an open source user of ERPNext. So I just wanted to share my experience. And first of all, thanks to the ERPNext team. I think they have an awesome product, but also a great philosophy. And thanks to all the sponsors who made this possible. Yeah. So these are our projects. We are a social enterprise. We're based out of Bangalore, and we work in solar space. So um, even though India is like a developing nation and a lot of progress, but there are a lot of people who live off the grid, where there is no grid connection is there, so they don't have access to electricity. That is where we work. So there are a lot of talk about megawatt level projects and all that. So solar can also do wonderful things for people who live off the grid. Like put a small panel and a small battery, and you have lights there. So and there are a lot of people who live off the grid. So that is where we work. So you see some of the pictures of the solar powered refrigerators and solar powered lamps for students. And the one below on the right side, that is a picture of unelectrified village where we are putting a solar grid there. And these are our products. So we don't work at the megawatt level. We work on the very smaller projects. And then how I discovered ERPNext. So as we had a saying about the personal itch, right? So previously I had worked a little on SAP, but then I got into because I was fascinated by solar and what it could do. I got into this. I was working as a project manager, and when you're working in an SME in India, there are very few tools that you can use. Mostly it is the Tally, which is being used for the accounting, and then probably you have your diary. There's no IT for the project managers and all. So that is when. So what happened was I met a customer who wanted a solar powered pump set, and but that point in time, there was no subsidy for solar pump sets. So I told, okay, I'll get back to you when there's subsidy. And 1 year went by. By that time, I had changed my mobile twice, and now I couldn't trace him back. Like I didn't have his contact number. And then the number of phone calls and the emails that you make to trace where is the material, just too many of hassle when you're working in SME. So I realized like, okay, we need a MIS or ERP. So we, we have some 43 sales and service branches and 10 service branches only. Then we do a centralized procuring at 3 warehouses, and we are spread across the Karnataka. And there are 400 employees, and out of which I expect like we already have 100 users on ERP, but 60 of them they log in every day and do some updation already. So we have Tally for the accounting, and then all the reporting is done in MS Excel. Then we have Google spreadsheet, where we need a lot of sharing. Then we have a payroll processing software, and then as I mentioned, just too many of the emails and phone calls and all that. So that's I think how that is what the challenge that is being faced by a typical Indian SME. I don't think we have that ERP thing in the SME sector a lot. So an interesting thing happened. Like I told my manager, okay, previously I have worked on SAP, and I think as a Selco, as an organization, we are in a phase where we need to look for a MIS or an ERP. And he said, okay, you start working on that. Then we started looking for solutions. So I received some 13 different quotations, and one of which was 3.5 crore for 3 years. And I did not tell my manager because I really wanted to work on ERP. I think he would just say, okay, you stop that thing and go back to what you were doing. So I did not tell him that. So that's how it happened. Like, either there are Tally and Google spreadsheet and Excel. That is how you run your manage. That's how you manage your business. Or you go back to these companies, like a lot of big companies and a lot of big numbers there. So there is a huge gap between these two solutions. So and then I started looking for a open source solution. We came across Udo and ERPNext and a couple of others, and I think ERPNext is much better than any other open source solution. So what I want to tell was that ERPNext is customizable. If you look at any SME, we are a 20-year-old company, and the process is, for example, we don't have a marketing department. When you want to reach out to customers who are in rural areas, marketing doesn't work in the conventional way. They don't fall for the ads and all, and you'll have to come up with your own way. So the processes that we have at Selco, they're not very standard. Like they are grown over a period of time, and they are very homegrown processes. So you will need an ERP which is very much customizable. You can't simply say, okay, this is the process, let's switch to it. That doesn't work in Selco. So what I want to tell you, like how did we manage to customize ERPNext to suit our requirements? So for example, if you take the complaint management, we have around 1,200 to 1,500 complaints which are received, and we have multiple different channels. Like there's a toll-free number, there are sales branches, there are people at the field who receive complaints, and the process is like, okay, we will receive a call, then we go somewhere. It is assigned to someone. That person goes to the site, he'll attend, then prepare some documents. That document is again verified by a department. So this is a simplified version of the process. So I started with some 7-8 different workflow states, but now I think I have some 50, and there are like 35-40 transitions. So what we did was, first thing I did was like put a lot of custom fields. It's very easy to add. You don't need to do any programming. You can simply add the fields that you need. Then permission levels worked great for us. And then the layouts. Then the workflow is very useful feature that we are finding in ERPNext. And then there are email alerts. So we have this toll-free number, and then we have 50 branches across different places. So every time we receive a complaint in the toll-free number, then a person creates that, and if we immediately trigger an email alert to the concerned branch. So this is how our issue creation form looks like. I think I have hidden most of the standard fields since they're not applicable to us. Then I have created my own field. It doesn't require any programming at all. So if you learn a little bit of programming, and I say learn a little bit of programming, mostly it means manage to copy paste the code in the discussion forum. That's I think that is what programming is to start with. Then we did a little bit of link field, that is the add fetch function. Then the read only field. Like I wanted a feature where I wanted initially when the complaint is received, there is a set of data that I want to capture, like the name and the contact number. But once that is confirmed, I don't want anybody to change that field. So you can simply use the read-only feature. Write one line of JavaScript code where you can say once the workflow state changes to confirm, set all those fields to read-only. And then we also, with a little bit more of copy pasting, I managed to connect two different workflows. Like some of the complaints, when we receive, if there's some issue with the component and it is within warranty, I went to the warranty claim .tech, right? So you raise a warranty claim, and then I wanted that to be linked to a complaint, and the status of the complaint should automatically change to warranty claim raised. You don't want users to say the reason why it is open for more than 10 days is because the warranty claim is raised. So instead of having two independent workflows, I managed to connect the warranty claim workflow to the issue. Then budget, right? Since we have 50 branches across different places, depending on the number of complaints they attend and what kind of work they do there and how much amount they collect, so we allot them a budget. Like let's say there's a complaint and a person goes there and collects 100 rupees to solve the issue, right? So we give him X percentage of that as the budget to manage the local expenses. That is the traveling expenses and all. That's a huge thing for us because we have 150 different technicians who go into the field and manage all the complaints. So we need to give them the proper budget. So and that all used to happen in Excel sheet. So we have 50 different complaints. 50 different complaints received, and for per complaint, this is what your budget is, and we have 150 rows. That is per brand, and there are 50 Excel sheets. So that was a huge thing for us. So what I did was like create a script report, and now all of that is automated. That saves a lot of time and a lot of transparency, because the end technician knows for which complaint how much budget he received. So for the first time, we have all the details of the complaint in one place. We can analyze which component is failing a lot of times and all those details. And a lot of discussions happen for the comment. You can just tag a user and it will also trigger an email. So all the discussions relating to a complaint happen in one page. Then we have the purchase order. So how it used to happen was in Tally, you create a purchase order, take printout for the first page, then go to Excel, prepare the terms and conditions, take printout on the other page, and in few cases scan it and then send it to the supplier. So that was the process being followed. With ERPNext now, and there are a lot of approvals. There are 4 different levels of approval. So there's a person who created, print on the both sides, take physical copy, go to somebody, get their approval, go to somebody, get their approval, and then scan it, send it, and sometimes you just forget where you kept the purchase order. So with ERPNext now we have stopped the printing entirely. So we just prepare purchase order, everybody logs in and approves. Then finally we have the PDF export feature, and then we send it to the supplier. So there's no more printing. Entire process takes a lot of time. If somebody is on the meeting or somebody is traveling, no issues, they can just log in and approve it. And the other thing is, sometimes you see your logistics team, there are a lot of pressure. So they say, so there's a request from the branch for a particular item, right? And the warehouse is supposed to supply it. And they call the logistics team saying, have you raised the purchase order? And they would say, yeah, we have raised. And then they will, hang the phone and then they raise the purchase order, right? So this happens. Now our godowns know, because the moment somebody creates purchase order, it's visible in the ERP. So now there's a lot of transparency, there's a lot of pressure on our logistics team. So this is what our purchase order looks like now. So what I did was I initially started with the print format builder. That didn't really look good. So then I went to Sambhaji's repo on GitHub. I copied the page and I copied pasted the code. There were errors which I solved. Then I went on adding. So now I have a logo, and finally, I think print format is one of the things that will impress your users a lot. Now, generally they see these crummy Excel sheets, but then you have a neat print format, it will really impress them. And with a little bit of ginger, I also managed to get the signature at the end. So that is only if it is approved by everyone, then the signature looks. So our supplier is also fine. So few tips. First of all, it takes a lot of time. So if you are a mid-sized company and you are trying to implement, somehow don't give a commitment. Like, I'll get it done by this time. There are a few reasons for that. So first thing, you do one module at a time. So we did this. We thought, okay, this is what we need. This is what we need in CRM. This is what we need in stock. This is what we need in account. But our understanding was not really proper. It was not we did not understand the process entirely. And then training takes a lot of time. So when you are a mid-sized company, you better plan for it a lot. It takes a lot of time. Then awesome bar, that's really awesome. Because once you teach somebody how to type new and space and whatever the doc type they need, now they know to create everything. Somebody wants to create an invoice, they know new sales invoice. Somebody wants to create a delivery note, it's new delivery note. So once you teach them that much, they have pretty much understood how to navigate to different screens. Comments are good, so use a lot of comments to discuss about any doc type or any issue, any complaint or anything. And when you are uploading the CSV files, so we are tempted to do this, right? So there is some modifications I want. I'll download the CSV file, edit and upload. So this happened, and I was fortunate that I did not lose the data. So I downloaded a CSV file with the data, and I wanted some modifications in a particular column. So I deleted all the data and I kept only one, and I did my modification and I uploaded. And after uploading, I realized, okay, the database, the Excel column name, if it is there, and if you don't keep any data in the column and you upload, it will all be gone. Because it will basically replace with the null. So when you are uploading the CSV file, make sure that either the column has data or you remove the column header. Otherwise, your data will be wiped out. And we have a meetup group, and I think we should all build our local communities. Why is that? We have had some, I think, 8 or 9 meetups now. And why should we do it? Right? It is not because only because it's an altruistic thing or it's a philosophical thing or anything. It's simply because it saves you a lot of time and money. Because the problem that I'm facing, so when I copy paste and there are a lot of errors, I can simply call one of the community members. Probably they have already faced that issue. So you'll save a lot of time. You'll get a lot of new ideas. So I request all of you to host a meetup in your city. And we're having a hackathon in Bangalore. One of the companies, they have posted a requirement saying they need a particular app. So that we, as a community, we're trying to develop. So if you are in Bangalore or around Bangalore, please come join us. And I think after maybe not next year, but at least next to that, I would like to see the ERPNext conference in Bangalore, because I think that will be a great thing to happen. But it will take a lot of effort. So I request all the people who are in Bangalore to join the meetup, and let's really have a conference in Bangalore. Thanks.